Still looking at me.
Mighty Gang, it's the multitasker, and it's time for a death battle because the new season has just started since this past Monday. And yes, I know it's late to the party, but I apologize, being as a busy man. So since my shift is over, I can finally relax and finally get a chance to get caught up on this because it's Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man versus Static Shock. Yeah, Marvel versus DC, no surprise there. But these two individuals are very popular in their own right because of their charisma, the attitude, and not to mention, well, considered of my, watching cartoon series and over, they basically shock to the systems, if you know what I mean. But here's the thing about these two, because they are from the two comic brand, but they're not from of the main universe. For example, Miles is from the Ultimate Universe, and also that he's biracial. He's half black, half Mexican, from Brooklyn, and he made his debut at the ending pages of the one-shot issue of Ultimate Fallout, which that basically is the aftermath of the death of Spider-Man, where young Peter Parker got shot by the Punisher during the brawl between of the new Ultimates versus the Ultimate Avengers, and which that the thing was that the bullet was meant to aim Nick Fury just to wound him, but of course that basically wrong place at the wrong time, and it was a very heartbroken moment at that time. And then of course Miles came into picture, and that he became the new Spider-Man of that universe, and then all hell break loose during of the Secret Wars, and so now Miles is and the rest of his family and now living in the Marvel universe. And Static, he's not from the DC universe as well. In fact, it's been a long time, and that not many people don't remember the early 90s. There was of a very old comic brand known as the Milestone, and I think I remember there was a cover that goes by the name of Icon. Yeah, I think that's what he was originally from. So now all of a sudden that he's now on DC, I've kind of missed out about that. Like, how did he get in here? That's a good question. But I used to watch that show when it first aired it on the Kids WB, and I was completely hooked on like everybody else. And the show was amazing.
He was a teenager.
Different
Yeah, he's
universe,
13.
different drinking laws, right? And also, like Peter, he can stick to walls. You know, spider style.
Yes, like some spiders, Miles can control his body's interatomic attraction, essentially sticking to walls like a magnet. However, unlike Peter, this subatomic electron manipulation gave Miles a few extra moves of his own.
Yeah, the kid's got electric powers. He can zap people with a quick touch, fire off massive explosions, and even turn invisible. Wait, what's that got to do with shocking people?
This venom sting can even take out the Ultimate Universe's Electro, a being literally made of electricity. But Miles didn't just shock him, he disrupted Electro's own charge. Similar to a miswiring sending too much electricity in one direction and shorting out your computer when somebody forgot to plug it into the surge protector.
Wiz, you know I don't believe in protection for anything. It's going in raw.
No surprise there.
Anyway, as the new Spider-Man, Miles obviously had a lot to live up to. After his Uncle Aaron died in front of him,
Ha! Told you somebody would pull a Ben.
Miles
Which
pushed
that's
past the heartache. He
from the
persisted,
movie.
living up to Peter's ideals, and eventually stepped out of his shadow to be Spider-Man in a way only he could.
Oh yeah, what's up, Danger? He can blast apart a building-sized monster and survived being slammed around by the
from the
giant
song,
Cassie
wasn't it?
Lang. That's Ant-Man's daughter.
He's smart enough to hack military drones and quick enough to destroy an alien device in a microsecond. Essentially, he needed to open and close a portal in an impossibly short time frame to prevent an alien force from invading. It's a long story.
Point is, he's super fast. With his spider sense, he can react to things before they even happen. He's super tough, too.
Grew up
He even
in a
survived
giant
being
symbiote.
caught in this giant super collider exploding.
Measuring the size of this hole using real-world maps of New York and solving for fragmentation, we know this explosion must have been equivalent to about 222 tons of TNT.
Sure, that's not technically canon to the comics, but guys, main series Spider-Man has done way crazier things. I mean, he has the same powers, and Miles has even beat the crap out of him. Classic Pete can bench press 130 tons, use his spider sense to dodge
Yeah,
beams of
I
light,
remember
and
seeing
ripped
that.
apart Doc Ock's robo-arms, which once survived a 2-kiloton nuclear explosion. So I'd say the super collider feat checks out.
Unfortunately, Miles' electric powers can tire him out, and his spider sense does not protect him automatically, serving more as an alarm or proximity sensor.
But the youngins proved himself to be the best successor a Spider-Man could ever want, and more. He even got pulled into the main Marvel timeline when they blew up the Ultimate Universe. Miles
Secret
Morales
Wars.
is truly one of the greats.
Don't wash the mouth, wash the hands.
Despite growing up in the most crime-filled neighborhood of Dakota City, Virgil Hawkins was a pretty chill guy.
He spent his time playing D&D, reading comics, you know, typical nerd stuff.
So
But
he
he
was
had
the-
one
he was
major
the
problem,
enthusiastic
the
killer white
classic
kid.
sitcom bully.
Age
No
15.
teenage story is complete without it.
During school, he was frequently harassed by local gang leader Francis Stone. Virgil's only refuge was one of his few friends, Larry Wade.
Larry convinced Virgil there was only one way to get rid of Francis for good. Join his own gang and pack some heat. Things got, well, pretty intense, and Virgil wasn't having any of it. It was time to bail like DC Comics on their cinematic universe.
But the damage was already done. The police arrived and let loose a massive canister of what seemed to be tear gas, but wasn't.
Yeah, this grape-looking mist was actually some experimental shit. It was supposed to tag each gang member so the cops could track them down later, but it was actually laced with radioactive quantum juice, which killed almost everybody. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah,
Luckily, Virgil
I
was
don't
one of the
think I
few
never
who
read
survived,
the
but the
original.
quantum juice still had an effect.
You could say he was shocked to find out what it did.
Yes, he began to develop electromagnetic powers. Before this, Virgil always felt out of his league, but now he was in a league of his own and became the superhero Static.
I put a shot to your system.
Hell yeah! With these new powers, the guy was
I miss that theme
unstoppable.
song.
He could blow shit up with electric bolts quick as lightning, make explosion balls called Nova Bombs, and taser people with punches to the face.
Right, but he's not just good at shocking people. Static can alter the electron attraction of any object or surface. He can erect extremely durable electromagnetic force fields that block most attacks. He can even move metal around like a hip young Magneto.
Electric energy.
And slip metal under his feet to take to the sky. His favorite ride is the Static Saucer, a giant frisbee that doubles as a shield and buzzsaw. Think about it. Don't you wish your car could literally cut through traffic?
Obviously, turning superhuman overnight caught Virgil a bit off guard. But after a few speed bumps, he became a well-regarded superhero throughout the city of Dakota, even teaming up with fellow heroes like Icon and Rocket.
Icon and Rocket? Come on, where's Batman and Wonder Woman?
I should mention that while Static is part of the DC Universe, he did not start there. See, Static was originally created by Milestone Comics, which eventually merged with DC. Their characters, including Static, existed in an alternate timeline known as the Dakotaverse. Then a guy named Dharma gained cosmic power and accidentally blew everything up, sending Static into the main DC timeline. It's really not too complicated. I've actually been working on a device to peer into alternate timelines, but unfortunately it still needs...
Button! Well now, old chap, what were we discussing but a moment ago?
Oh, I don't you know. Let's figure out who ought to win the fatality kerfuffle.
Yes, I'm mad as hops. Let's begin, my fellow Ultra Cupidarian.
I regret everything.
Oh, I'll do it again.
No.
I'm sure that's fine.
Well, no matter the universe, Static was always one-upping himself. He learned how to see ultraviolet light and how to make people glow. Wait, what's that got to do with shocking people?
That would be his ability to detect bioelectric auras. Static can also create power-draining plasma coils, disrupt the electrical impulses of others, and empower or heal himself by draining energy from outside sources.
He can literally reattach his severed arm with shock power.
Ouch.
I'm not even joking. Look at this. Since when could electricity do that?
Clearly, Static has a lot of power at his beck and call.
He can survive building-sized kabooms, lift hundreds of tons, and once turned this huge chunk of ice into slush in just a couple seconds.
Based on the size of the ice and the required change in temperature for such a feat, Static must have output energy equal to 180 tons of TNT.
He's quick enough to intercept lasers confirmed to be beams of actual light, which is pretty darn fast.
And in the cartoon, he actually shoved some quantum juice in some lockers and launched them out of orbit. These are typical school lockers, which can weigh up to 30 pounds each.
And fit approximately one nerd.
To throw 3 of these into space, they need to be moving nearly 3,000 times faster than sound, requiring a throwing force equal to 4 kilotons of TNT.
Damn! Okay, sure, that's not canon to the comics, but his electromagnetism could play tug-of-war with Superboy's telekinesis, which can lift 4 million tons.
Wait.
I'm not sure Static can go that far, but if he's anywhere close, it's still higher than throwing some lockers around.
Though, despite Static's incredible power, insulators are his kryptonite, and he can run out of juice if he pushes himself too much.
But the guy's one of the coolest superheroes who rarely got his time to shine. Heck, he was good enough to join the Justice League. I think even Virgil himself was shocked to see how cool he really was.
Static shock!
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, all this talking has made me hungry for Blue Apron.
Okay, so just now seeing the results of their feats and their weaknesses. This is literally this is a hard debate, but I got a bad feeling. I have a bad feeling that the one is going to have the upper hand. So I'm just going to have my fingers crossed. So okay, so it's going to be a 2D spy animation.
You attack me!
Well, I got more than one electric psychopath to keep track of it.
They're using the into the Spider-Verse version of the Miles of Spider pop-ups from the movie. Okay, whoever did the soundtrack, that's lit. Okay, now it's turning up the heat.
the blast is a tad petty. Heard your daddy's a cop. Then you should hide in this precinct. For I take a weekend in sequence. Leave you weak and bleeding. You're so pathetic. Better call your mama.
They really love into the fight so much.
Wait, what? Keep thinking. Keep thinking. Stop thinking. Stop thinking.
Ooh.
I'm a completely emphatic. Come on out, Spider Boy. No more flying diesel planes. Shoot, that was my ride. Okay, you've got surprises, but so do I.
Okay, so obviously using camouflage is going to do a thing.
What the fuck?
Woo!
Whoa, not cool.
Not good.
You stupid. All I gotta do is... What? Plasma coil. If you hadn't noticed, this electric biz is kind of my
Oh
thing.
no.
Aw, man. That was tough.
Damn.
Looks like we're kicking off this year with a bang. Poor Miles, though.
Honestly, I'm surprised how this turned out. At first glance, Miles appeared to have a good chance of victory.
He was definitely physically stronger than Static. He would have totally won an arm wrestling contest.
But Virgil's overwhelming electric power put him at a level above the young Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Overall, Static's feats were way above Spidey's, even when we scaled Miles to classic Peter Parker's biggest feats. Static definitely had the oomph to take Miles out, but Miles had no easy way to get around his force field.
The variety of
Yeah.
techniques at Static's disposal also rent many of Spider-Man's abilities moot.
Like how Spidey's invisibility didn't matter when Static could light him up like a Christmas tree, and his speed was so similar to what the Spider Sense could give Miles that the super radar wasn't that big of a help. Remember, just because he knew an attack was coming didn't always mean he could dodge it in time.
And, well, shockingly, Static only needed to hit him once. See, his electromagnetic manipulation gave him control over Miles' wall crawling and other abilities. As soon as he got a hold of Miles' bioelectric aura, it was basically all over.
But hey, Miles and all the other Spider-Men fight Electro all the time, and they have no problem dealing with him. Why was Static any different?
Simply put, every iteration of Electro pales in comparison. He has no feats of power that come even close to Static, and frankly, he's an idiot. This was a fascinating matchup, but... Oh no, not again!
Yay! Mr. Morales put up a jolly good show, and yet Mr. Hawkins had him outdone in breathtaking power, stalwart
is
defense,
disturbing.
and veritable versatility.
Funny, yes.
Oh, he was
disturbing.
just miles ahead of him, don't you know?
The victor is Static.
Hey, thanks for checking out the premiere of Season 7 of DeathBattle. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below. And, hey, the card game is back in stock, so check that out on store.roosterteeth.com.
Okay, Sindel. Oh. Black Canary versus Sindel. Okay. Okay, I definitely see where this is going. Two females with a high-pitched screams. Now, this is definitely something to be an interesting fight. If you can survive the eardrums. Damn it. I had a feeling Static would win. And it was a close call, really, it was. Yeah. When I look at the Static's of his electrokinesis, I mean, basically he pretty much has like like every types of it, to magnesium, to electricity. It's just basically, this is a higher level than what Miles has already have of the bioelectricity. I was hoping that Miles would try to would have some advantages, but no. Static was basically was a league of his own, and there was a reason why. Just my luck. Well, anyways, I think it was a decent fight though, and yes, there was literally such Into the Spider-Verse reference, and also now it's official that there is going to be a sequel. I am looking forward to that, so that is really all good. So I definitely will keep my eye on if we at least get a teaser trailer or the official. So we'll see. But unfortunately, this is where time's up. I'm ending this video. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like and leave a comments down below. Mighty Adventure signing out, but I will catch y'all in the next video. So take care, guys.